Disney's award-winning musical The Lion King is a theatre production unlike anything you've ever seen before. Everybody knows the animated feature film, but when it made the leap from screen to stage, the creative team faced the enormous challenge of putting the African savannah on stage. To do this, they called upon a vast array of styles and techniques, from traditional African masks to the latest in digital technology. Millions of people have already seen The Lion King in over a dozen countries across the globe, in cities such as New York, London, Hamburg, Johannesburg, Shanghai, Tokyo, Paris and Sydney. And it's been translated into many different languages, including German, Japanese, French, Korean and Dutch. Now, for the first time ever, you'll be able to go backstage at the Lyceum Theatre in London's West End and the Minskoff Theatre on Broadway. We'll explore this global phenomenon looking at 10 different aspects of the show, giving you the chance to see what goes into making and running one of the biggest and most spectacular stage productions in the world, The Lion King. So, to begin, have you ever wondered how The Lion King became a musical? Well, we caught up with some of the key players in the show's creation to find out what it took to make the lion sing.
Think about an animated movie. This one is about 74 minutes long. That's less than the first act of the stage show. Remember the scene where Mufasa is walking and little Simba's walking and his little tiny foot goes in the big footprint of his father. That one image of the little foot in the big footprint tells us everything about father, son, a young boy hoping to one day fill his father's shoes. Well, how would you do that on stage? Adapting it to the stage meant expanding the story. There were lots of challenges in putting The Lion King together, but certainly the biggest one was for the audience to accept that the people they're seeing on stage are representing animals. There's a rule in Hollywood that all you need is one really great idea. And I had one really great idea, and that was Julie Taymor.
The fun part for me was, how do you do a stampede on stage? How do you create the image of the savannah? Because the animated film could do it all. They could create those vast landscapes and the cave of Scar. I love doing that in the theater, finding highly theatrical means to create a naturalistic landscape. I don't need all that fur. I don't need literal paws. Maybe just a tail. You know, just the mask and a tail, and then let the actor suggest it, like the movement of the shoulders moving forward. You get the strength. He doesn't have to be on all fours doing that.
Think about Simba. We use shadow puppets, rod puppets, hand puppets, and 2 human actors to play one character in the show.
The story, the animal kingdom, the music, all the inspiration for the masks and puppets comes from Africa, and musically South Africa.
In the movie, of course, it's beautiful to look at, it's exquisitely animated, and the designs are gorgeous. But what you also have is those fantastic songs by Elton John and Tim Rice, and that beautiful underscore by Hans Zimmer, and the fantastic song choral African material that Lebo M and Mark Mancina shaped. On the stage, we expand all that music. We add more of it.
With the visual concept behind the stage show in place, and the music developed and expanded to work in the theatre, what other ingredients were needed to complete The Lion King's journey from screen to stage?
In the theatre, you can use lots of different techniques to represent something, but the most important technique you need is the imagination of your audience.
Children and adults alike suspend their disbelief, knowing that it is theater, that we're not really in a savannah, that we're not really in a jungle, and they go with you. And their eyes focus after a while on just the character.
When they look at what's behind me right now, and they don't see a circular staircase, but they see a rock. When they see people with grass growing out of their head and say, it's the savannah. When they see a man with a fantastic mask over his head, and they say, oh, he's a lion. Then the audience is on the journey with the theater maker, and that's the best kind of theater.